essentially 5 subjects that move the needle in every single industry. We see it again and again and again. And what's so fascinating is, as buyers, we feel like before we even contact the company, before we call them, before we walk into the store, before we do that thing, we want to conceptualize these 5 things as buyers. We want to know how much it is. We want to know the negatives or the issues with that thing. We want to know how that thing compares to the other thing. We want to know what everybody is saying about that thing. And we want to know what the best thing is. That's the economy. That's the economy. And what's wild about it is businesses don't like to talk about it. By a show of hands, how many of you have researched how much something cost online, let's say over the last year? Now, when you're on a website and you can't find anything about cost and price, what is the emotion you experience? Frustration. That is the F word of the internet, my friend. Frustration. So what gives you the right in that moment to feel frustrated? What gives you the right? I can't find what I'm looking for, and I am the customer. I'm the buyer, and I'm trying to do what? I'm trying to give you my money, but you're not allowing me to do it. The real reason we get so upset is because we know that they know the business. They know the answer. And because we know they know the answer, and they're not giving it to us, we now feel like they are. That's right, mind games hiding something from us. And the moment you feel like anybody is hiding anything from you online, what happens? Trust is gone. And again, that's the business we're all in. We got to start our conversation with the number that continues to grow and grow and grow. And that is, this is how far along the buyer is by the time they reach out to you and contact you. Business to business and business to consumer, they are 80% through that buying funnel as we hear. So the question is for you, me, everyone in this room, regardless of the size of your business, where is this number going to be? Where is it going to go over the next 5, 10, 15 years? That's right, it's going to go higher. And is it ever going to go back? Now, we might not like it, but it's called reality. And if we want to be successful as business owners, we have to accept the trends for what they are. We can't say, no, that's the marketplace. I'm going to do what I've always done. It doesn't work that way. But if this number's true, which department of your organization has a greater impact on the actual sale of the thing? Is it the sales department or the marketing department? Which one? Notwithstanding, when a company is in financial trouble, the first department that gets cut or laid off is who? That's how we pay you back for your goodness. And generally speaking, when a company's looking to grow the business, the first department that gets hired is sales. The question is, why is it that way? Because we've been doing it that way how long? Forever. Generally speaking, still, sales is classified as revenue, marketing is classified as expense. Now, is that the way it should be? Listen, gang, if your organization, if you as that CFO within your company or someone in your company that's handling the books still believes that sales is straight revenue and marketing is straight expense, we have a problem. If your team doesn't understand this trend, go back and teach it to them. Everybody must rally around this because it's only going to grow. And it means 2 fundamental things. Again, sales has to become involved in the marketing side of the business, in that 80%. Marketing needs to be accountable for revenue as well. With pain, generally always comes the growth, because it forces us outside of that comfort zone of the way we've always been doing it, and it makes us say, well, maybe I'll try that because I have nothing to lose. And it was during that time that I started to read all these fancy phrases like inbound and content and digital and all that stuff. And what I heard in my simple pool guy mind was, you know what? If I just am willing to address my customers' questions, if I obsess over them and I will address them on my site, I just might save my business. And so it was right then that we decided to embrace a simple philosophy that has now been embraced by hundreds in this room and businesses all over the world. Such a simple concept, they ask, you answer. They ask, you answer means you are literally obsessed with the way your buyer thinks, what they ask, what they feel, what they search. And you feel like, if they're asking it, thinking it, searching it, that it's your moral obligation to address it on the front end during that 70%. Because you know, if you don't address it, who will? Your competitors. If I said to you, is trust going to be fundamental to your business and your success? in 10 years, 20 years, what would you say? Definitely, he says. I agree with you, Bob. If I said to you, is Facebook going to be essential to your business in 20 years? What would you say? He said, probably, which it may be. Now, what's the difference though, Bob? The difference, of course, is Facebook is a platform. We know when it started, and we know that platforms, they start and eventually they end. They come to an end. But trust is a principle. When did it start? It didn't. It just is. So if you can't say when something started, you can't say when it's going to end because it won't end. You just obsess over your customers' questions, worries, fears, issues, concerns, and you're willing, keyword, to address those on your website. You just might save your business. Is this going to engender more trust, yes or no? And if the answer is yes, then you move. You take action. So that's our challenge. Be the best teachers in the world. Obsessively listen over their questions, their worries, and their fears. And lean into technology. Lean into video. Make it a part of who you are and your company culture. And if you do, everything, and I mean everything, will change. You guys have been awesome. Thank you very much.